The first major lesson I've learned, the thing that I struggled most on in setting up my room, which I decided would be my first major task, was in designing the levels. I realized that in order to make it look nice, I can't place them using tile sets. So I was considering using the tile set in order to place this stuff on here. But when it plays, it actually doesn't look that nice. The quality is pretty poor. Let me show you. So we got a little happy button to start. And so it's pretty blurred out, and you can see seams, and the background is pixelated. So all in all, I'm not too happy with it. Okay. The sprite of the hero I'm satisfied with. I mean, it could be better. I have to fix it because of size issues. You can see that when he switches from his idle sprite into his walking, the dimensions dip down and he becomes stuck inside the ground. And so, because it suddenly drops a little bit. And so if he lands like that, then he's okay. But he has to do that. I also want to make something where he can grab onto the edge of platforms. And I think that won't actually be too hard. Okay, now, let me see here. You'll be able to see this in our Google Drive folder. So here's the tile sheet that I was using before that I found wasn't good. Here's the background scene that I'm using at the moment. It appears to be better quality than is actually showing up. So I wonder if, like, in the final version of the game, it might be better that what I was playing in was just a quick preview. So I'm not sure why it's coming out so pixelated in the game itself. Yeah, I still need to learn about that. But what I'll do now is to design the level. I'm just going to lay everything out in a Photoshop file and just use one high-res background instead of trying to use the sprites. So the tile sheets, excuse me. And so what I'll be doing is I'll make a separate Photoshop file for each level. I'll just duplicate it. And you can open that up on your computer and you can see what I've been working on here. So this is how I exported the background, but I can add in layer after layer and see each one. And you can see this one here has a problem in it. It's got this seam, and so you can only see it at certain times, but there it is. Now what I'll do is I can see what layer that is. Hold on. What layer was that? There we are. And now I can hold down the control button and it should let me select one of these layers. It's weird. Oh, I think it's because I have to do that. There we go. There we are. Let's see. And now I just compress the right arrow and scoot it over a little bit. Hold down Alt, mouse wheel back, zoom out. Nope, I got the wrong thing. Hold down Control, select this one piece, right arrow. Hold down Alt, mouse wheel back. Ah, still not getting it. Alright, hold down Control, select this. Now I can see what group it's in. So I'll just select this whole group, and now mouse wheel that over. And what's happening here? Oh, this is not what I wanted. Anyway, I'm not going to get too bogged down into this. It's a process. That's just about. There we go. Okay, I think that did it. Alright, so that's basically how that process works, and I'll need to repeat that, and I'll design the whole level like this. Um, I don't I don't know how to do slopes. I still need to learn how to be able to walk up a hill, um, because what I usually do, because I was just going to use the same object block uh, all the way up this side. But that doesn't work because this really collision with the object block is really only programmed to handle walking on top of it. I might have to build like a different color block that you can walk upwards on. And so when you collide with it, it just moves you up a little bit so you can keep walking up it. So it's sort of like in programming, it'll work more like an escalator, but it'll look like you are just walking up the hill. I haven't gotten to that, and so I think the first level I won't worry about that, and I'll design the first level to be all jumps and no hills. Um, so that'll be just easier to program, so I can get the first one out and work on things like the graphics and the core elements that are necessary. The ramp is not too key to the game. I've spent a lot of time with the knight, um, and I have done it. I'm disappointed with some of the work that I've done because of the change in sizes. Um, there's a pretty big, if you edit the sprite, there's a pretty big change in how the sprite behaves between one file and the next. So if I look at this, you can see that it's a slightly different proportion than what I was just looking at. And so even here to here. So it didn't come out quite how I would have liked. And the solution to that is Photoshop. I should have done all of the, excuse me, nope, again. Oh yeah, this is it. I should have done all of the changes to these files done on this file level, not on, so I made a copy of these for myself and make sure each one was the size that I wanted it. I could do that outside of GameMaker, and so when I bring it in here, there's less manipulation that I need to do. So these right now are just way too big, and so, I mean, these are huge, and so I would need to scale this down in order for it to work for the game. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you was the programming that I started. Now I created an abstract character. This will never be added to the game, but it's a parent. So over in the object knight, I specified this as its parent. So I can just select abstract character. And so that's the parent of the knight. So anything that I program in here, the knight will also share that programming. But this will overwrite anything that that I wanted to change. That way I can, the basic like gravity effects, and so stuff that we stole from our Mario code. So this basic gravity will work for all my characters, including the bad guys. So I can build bad guys into the abstract character, and that way I don't need to reprogram that because they'll all be children of the abstract character. Just the knight has extra things like the move left and animate. And so this code, you can pause it and take a look at this, is it just marks whether or not I'm going right. So that's how I'm keeping track of which one to use in the stepper event, or actually elsewhere. And so as I'm holding down that key, it's animating the right at that speed. If I'm free falling, then don't look like you're walking in midair. Just hold still for a second. And then if there's nothing in front of me, keep moving. So that's all that's happening there. So that's where I've gotten started. So the abstract character that can stand on top of blocks, the object knight that inherits that property and has some motion to it, and the need to really focus on Photoshop to design levels and fix up these sprites. That's where I'm at.